I'm going to show how to install purse feet on the bottom of a leather tote bag. For the feet to function effectively, there will need to be a structural base in the bottom to minimize sagging. These rigid inserts are commonly known as base shapers, which I will show how to make later. On the outside bottom of the tote, the purse feet will be installed on the corners and one in the middle. Here are the purse feet that I've purchased online. These are round brass studs with screwback feet. A hole punch is also included. Here's a quick demonstration on how they thread together. When installed, the material will be sandwiched in this manner. A cutting mat will be used as a base shaper. These are also available online. When making the base shaper, first measure the length and width of the inside base of the tote. Then measure the outside base. Settle on a size that will match both inside and outside bases. This will be important when making a pattern that can be used for each side. Take a scrap piece of cardboard and trace out a pattern using the measurements. Then cut out the pattern using a utility knife and a straight edge. Next, test the pattern for fit. If satisfied with the measurements, the pattern can now be used for making the base shaper. Next, take the cutting mat and pair it with the material. Do this in order to make sure the thickness is adequate for receiving the purse feet. Once confirmed, trace the pattern out on the cutting mat. Then, use a utility knife and a straight edge for cutting out the base shaper. Then, round the corners using a pair of scissors. The base shaper can now be placed in the bottom of the tote to check for fit. If satisfied with the fit, remove the base shaper and then take the cardboard pattern and place it on the outside base of the tote. Center it using the corners of the tote as a guide for placement. Then, position the purse feet in your desired locations. Next, settle on a preferred distance from the center of the feet to the edge of the pattern. In this case, the corner feet were 3/4 of an inch from the edge. Now take the pattern and strike a mark that distance in from the edges. To find the center, simply strike an X from corner to corner. Then punch holes at the intersecting lines where the purse feet will be located. Use the supplied hole punch and a hammer. The holes created will be used for marking the material. Next, take the pattern and return it to the center of the outside base of the tote. Use a permanent marker through the holes to mark the feet location in this manner. The holes can now be punched at these locations. When punching holes, you need to place the tote over a solid object as seen here. A scrap piece of 6x6 lumber worked very well for this. Using the punch and a hammer, punch holes at all 5 locations. Once the holes are made, return the base shaper to its original location in the bottom of the tote. While holding it in place, create marks on the base shaper through the freshly punched holes in this manner. This will ensure that the holes will be lined up perfect when installing the purse feet later. Remove the base shaper from the tote. Be sure to remember its orientation so it's easier to reinstall. Punch holes using the hammer and the hole punch. Once all 5 holes have been punched, return the base shaper to the bottom of the tote. Make sure the holes are aligned. Now select a purse feet screw and insert it through one of the holes. Push it through with your finger and hold it into place as it protrudes from the bottom. Next, take a purse foot and thread it onto the screw in this manner. Hand tighten until it's snug. Continue on with the rest of the feet. The original instructions are to push the feet in first and then secure the screws. However, I found this method works best for this particular material. Once all the feet have been installed, tighten each one using a screwdriver while holding onto the foot with the other hand. At this point, the tote can now be used. However, for aesthetic reasons, you can cover the base shaper with a leather patch. This is a self-adhesive leather patch that I bought online. They have a full range of colors that you can choose from. Using my pattern, I cut out another piece of cutting mat. Then I simply covered the piece with the adhesive leather repair patch in this manner. There are many options with this. You can cover the original base shaper or make a separate cover like this in order to cover the screw heads. You can also secure it using Velcro tape. Either way, the final product functions well and looks good.